A tight game for 2 quarters and then some, but the Badgers get a big interception from Scott Nelson, and that turns the tide in the game as Wisconsin scores on its final 5 possessions en route to a 45-14 victory on Saturday afternoon against New Mexico. Jonathan Taylor with a career-best 253 rushing yards, and into the end zone 3 times as well. And the defense forcing 3 turnovers, helping the Badgers improve to 2-0. We'll hear from some of the victorious Badgers. We'll also check in with Zack Baun back in the lineup after missing all of last year with an injury. He and Andrew Van Ginkel make a pretty good outside linebacking combination. And we'll sit down with head coach Paul Chryst. All coming up on today's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
Check the running back. 2 receivers either side. Snap to Hornibrook. Back to throw. Winds up. Heaves it down the left sideline. A.J. Taylor with the left hand reaches out and pulls it in. Down the left sideline. They'll mark at the 48 of Wisconsin. Oh, a sweet catch by A.J. Taylor. Taiwan deal now in the game, as is the fullback. Ingold with throw, 50, 45, upside 40, 35, 30, to the 25, over a defender inside the 20-yard line. The cornerback, Jalen Burrell, finally brings Ingold down. Well, Peniston, one of 3 tight ends in the lineup. Motions left to right, handoff Jonathan Taylor trying to break to the left. Has room, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Wisconsin. Jonathan Taylor from 16 yards away, and the Badgers take the lead. 3rd down and 6 for the Badgers at their own 20-yard line. Chris James now in the backfield. Hornibrook takes the shotgun snap, looks to throw. He'll loft it out right side. A.J. Taylor got it, reaching up, pulls it down. The DB fell down. That gave A.J. a little space. He still had to go get it, and he did at the 41-yard line of Wisconsin. 1st down. 3rd down and 8. The 24 of Wisconsin, 4 receivers set, back to throw Jones, blitz on, a throw to the right, intercepted by Scott Nelson at the 10, he's to the 15, running right, Nelson to the 20 and tripped up near the 25-yard line.
Whenever there was a turnover in the red zone, like when their offense would get the ball, it's a challenge, and we really look forward to challenges. So when they turn the ball over and they got really good field position, we get excited because it's another chance just to, if you end that, if they don't get points, it's heartbreaking for them. So.
Ferguson, A.J. Taylor, and Kendrick Pryor out wide to the right. Chris James, a running back, on 3rd and 10 from the 11. Shotgun snap, Hornibrook looks, throws over the middle, and it's caught by A.J. Taylor. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Hornibrook to Taylor, and the Badgers are in again. They lead at 16-7. 5-yard line of the Lobos on 2nd down. Handoff Jonathan Taylor off the right side, inside the 5. Taylor to the end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. 2nd of the day for Jonathan Taylor as the Badgers get some breathing room late to the 3rd quarter. On 1st and 10, Hornibrook back to throw. Lots of time, winds up. He's it deep to the right. A.J. Taylor open, got it 15, 10, and out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. He was wide open, and Hornibrook had all day to throw. Inverted wishbone. The 4-yard line, handoff Jonathan Taylor over the right side of the line, and he'll drive it into the end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Number 3 this afternoon for Jonathan Taylor.
The game won't go your way the entire game. You're going to face adversity, but the number one thing is how you respond. Your teammates are going to need you. Everyone leans on one another, so we all have to respond back from adversity.
3rd and goal at the 3 in the final half minute of the game. Vanderboom in the shotgun. He wants to throw, fires, and that's caught. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Taj Mustafa. How about that? Danny Vandenboom, his first career touchdown pass and the first career touchdown catch for the freshman Taj Mustafa with 22 seconds to play. Bring it 4, pocket snipe, ball's kicked in the air, picked off by T.J. Edwards, and he's all alone. End zone, it is caught for the touchdown. To the 20, to the 10, 5, touchdown Wisconsin. Pressure, and he is sacked just outside the goal line. A big win for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badgers Sports Report with Paul Chryst is presented by Audi. Drive yours at Zimbrick European. And UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
We've all been there. Gridlock. But this is the 2018 Nissan Rogue. It's got Pro Pilot Assist and can stop and start on its own to help keep your distance from that car ahead, and can help keep you centered in your lane.
Get a low $199 per month lease or get 0% financing for 60 months on Rogue.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
This is Gemütlichkeit, the spirit of Wisconsin. Hetty feels it. Kim embraces it. Even brother and sister get along. Friendship, warmth, and good cheer. That's Gemütlichkeit, and that's Wisconsin.
Your testimony will save lives. This is your new name. This is your new house and a perfectly inconspicuous SUV. You must become invisible.
I'll take my chances.
The reimagined Audi Q5 is here.
Test drive the all-new Audi Q5, only at Zimbrick Audi.
This is where amazing happens, where ideas turn into realities. This is where they developed a better way to observe blood flow, a better way to visualize pediatric heart surgeries before they even happen. You see, at UW Health and the American Family Children's Hospital, they're not just changing the lives of their patients, they're changing the way the world treats complex pediatric conditions. UW Health. Remarkable.
Play clock is at 8. Dixon creeping up to the line of scrimmage, coming on the blitz, and down goes Jones. Flag is down. Van Ginkel gets to the quarterback.
45-14, the final as Wisconsin defeats New Mexico. That score is what it is, but it was 10-7 into the third quarter. And Paul, we can talk about your touchdowns in the final 5 possessions, but really, I think it's fair to say the defense got it started with that interception with Van Ginkel applying the pressure, Scott Nelson. It just seemed like everything turned around from there.
It really did. I think that was, if you go back and look at it, the pivotal play, that was it. And it was neat because, you know, Gink had been applying some pressure, and then for Scott to come up with yet another play. And then, now that you've got that, then the offense converting. And then I believe the next possession was the 4th down stop, and they fumble it, and I think it's Caden Lyles that gets it, and then score again. So there's no doubt that changed it. It was, you know, because of, for different reasons, you know, there's 2 total possessions, one for New Mexico, one for us in the first quarter, and then the second, you know, we missed an opportunity and down in the red zone, and so it was one of those games that you just had to keep playing, and yet I was proud of the response that our guys showed.
There are so many, the beauty of college football, there are so many ways that offenses attack, and, you know, they've supposedly revamped the offense, and yet that first drive, here comes the option. But I guess no matter the style, if it's just executed well, and particularly the option, it can be a bear to try to slow down.
It is. I mean, it was a challenge, and you kind of had a sense that, you know, so much history of them being an option team that we were going to get. I thought our defense coaches did a nice job of kind of preparing guys for the different possibilities, and then you go into that game, and then their starting quarterback gets hurt, and you don't have enough information to say, okay, we're going with this game plan off this guy. And I thought that was good for our group to have to kind of go through it and manage that, and I thought the players did a nice job, and I was proud of, you know, the way that our defense responded. Not only responded to the first drive, but responded to some adverse situations, and really took the field with an energy. And yeah, I told that to TJ Edwards afterwards. Like, it was fun to watch you guys take the field, and that's, you know, however, whatever happens, you just want to see the response, and I think that's what I'm most proud of today.
We may have talked about this before, but it almost seems like, and it's going to sound strange, that the defense almost likes it when it's backed up. I mean, you don't, but it's that challenge, right? If there's a turnover and they're up against it, if it's inside the 30 or in the red zone, it's almost they take it personally a little bit.
I think they do take it personally. I think that, we've got a number of guys that think, you know what, doesn't matter where it is, I can kind of flip the script on this. I can kind of control it, and I think the same thing doesn't get talked about as much, but offensively, you know what, we're in control of this thing, and not that you always are, but to have that approach is it is a bit of a gift, and you appreciate that, and certainly neither side wants to be in those adverse situations. But I do think the whole game is about how do you respond to what's happening. The one thing I know as a coach, and I don't say that much, but I know that no one's trying to turn the ball over. No one's trying to give up a big play. No one's, whatever that is, and it's how you approach the next play that matters so much.
Jonathan Taylor with the career high. He's played a year and 2 games, but the 253 yards, 400 plus on the ground though. So that means other guys were contributing. Alec Ingold, the highlight is the 39-yard run, but what you appreciated was the 4th and 2 conversion.
That was
right?
big, and where that was in the game, that was big. And what I feel so happy to see is, Alex made, he's been involved with a lot of big plays and has played a lot of football here, but I've loved his approach, from really the winter conditioning and the summer. And I think we talked about this, just him and I with this is, if that was your starting point, game 1, and I think he did build on it in game 2. And really it's another old coaching cliche, but if your seniors can play their best football, and I think he's well on his way to that.
Taiwan Deal, again, ran the ball pretty hard, and you think of some other guys who contributed in the game, but that depth you're getting at the position behind Jonathan. Groshek, again, when you call on him, it just seems like he's able to help you behind an offensive line that seemed like had a little rhythm going as the game went along.
They did.
Well.
They had the rhythm, and took pride. I was proud of their response, and certainly everyone offensively, but I think it does start with the offensive line, and they knew that, we're able to get some things on them, and they had to deal with a lot of different looks, and yet I loved their demeanor throughout it all, and when things didn't go well, just kind of kept going, and that's, I think it's really important in playing this game. I thought the same thing could be said with Alex. I thought Alex it was very unconventional, particularly first half, and we finished it by a very unconventional 2-minute drive. But, he kind of just kept his poise, and once again, he gets hit on the one interception, and, that was the one that really kind of set up, and Scott's interception came off of that, I believe. But it was, the guys just continued to play, and that's so important.
You mentioned an unconventional 2-minute drill, which if somebody's just watching a game out of the blue, you're thinking they're calling a timeout and they're running the ball. You'll look a little closer. It's a guy who could score from anywhere in the field, so you'd save a couple plays for him to see if he can bust one. Right?
You do, and it started, and we had again we had 2 penalties on our punt return unit, which really puts you at a disadvantage, and so we're backed up inside our 10, and we had 40 seconds or 30-some seconds, but you do feel like, one more kick at this can, you don't know quite what's going to happen, and so we wanted to make sure we took advantage of that, and certainly didn't turn into anything like it did. The first week we had a 2-minute drive that finished in a touchdown. This one didn't, but you can also get a chance to kind of pry against the defense and see what does have a chance to work, and so I thought those were valuable snaps.
All right, a close game at the half, but the Badgers pull away in the second half en route to the win. Now improved to 2-0 with BYU coming to town this Saturday afternoon at Camp Randall. Coach returns in a few minutes with a Great Dane. Great question of the week as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
Ever since she can remember, she's wanted to become a doctor, a surgeon to be exact. Maybe it's because she's good at science, or because she loves math, or maybe it's because Lydia was born with a serious craniofacial anomaly, a cleft lip and palate that required a series of complex surgeries. And now she just wants to help others, just like the surgeons at UW Health helped her. UW Health and the American Family Children's Hospital. Remarkable.
Yeah, I just thought they did a good job of executing, and they their read option was working really well. The quarterback did a good job of holding that mesh point as long as he could, so it's putting us in a bind, but I think after that we settled down.
You never know what situation is going to come up, but one thing that's always good is looking at the film after a win and being able to correct things and put it into action during the week of work, and hopefully, you hope those things don't happen going into the next game.
That's just football. I mean, everything's not going to go your way, and that's what's fun about the sport. And then things started going our way. We were playing Wisconsin football, and we did what we do.
We needed a little spark. Obviously, we got put in a funny situation, but that's all right. We thrive off of that as a defense. I personally do, so I take pride in that. So it was fun to see him get an interception.
It's a great feeling. Just trying, if I would have got the pick, if the D lineman would have got a pick, it's whoever gets it. We're just happy as a defense, happy as a team to be able to make that play.
That was huge. They did a great job today getting us the ball back in those situations, and Scott, Madison had some interceptions that helped out as well.
I mean, you just keep hitting guys, and over the course of a game you feel them kind of, they don't know if they want to do it for 4 quarters, and that's kind of something that you have to do. It might not always be perfect in the first 2 quarters, but you just got to stay physical and hope that you can wear down a defense. And I thought we did.
I think we started to really click. I mean, shoot, we've been doing this a lot, playing really well in the second half. But I think we started to come together again as an offense, and we started to just feed off each other, feed off the defense, and that's what ultimately helped us.
That was a good thing to get, have a career day, but at the same time, you got to look at the film and correct things, that are simple.
Oh, great, being able to be out there, play with my teammates again, but it was fun. I had a blast, being able to be back. I felt like I was good because I've been practicing the last 2 or 3 weeks, so it was pretty much just kind of like another practice, but in front of fans at Camp Randall, which is a lot nicer than regular practice.
Your testimony will save lives. This is your new name. This is your new house and a perfectly inconspicuous SUV. You must become invisible.
I'll take my chances.
The reimagined Audi Q5 is here.
Test drive the all-new Audi Q5, only at Zimbrick Audi.
Did you know there's a Mahindra for everyone and every job? Test drive and save during Harvest Demo Days. Like a 6075 4-wheel drive, a 9125, a 2538 or 2638 HST, and a 1526 or 1626 HST. And test drive Mahindra's utility vehicles too, only from the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra. Hurry in for the best savings of the year at your Wisconsin Mahindra dealer.
We've all been there. Gridlock. But this is the 2018 Nissan Rogue.
It's got Pro Pilot Assist and can stop and start on its own to help keep your distance from that car ahead, and can help keep you centered in your lane.
Get a low $199 per month lease or get 0% financing for 60 months on Rogue.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
After hurting his foot during training camp last year, junior linebacker Zack Baun was forced to sit out the entire season. Coming into this year, the foot is healed, and he's excited to be back on the field. But like anyone coming off an injury, he had to get his mind right, too.
Definitely more mental than physical, because I know we have one of the best training staffs in the country. I knew my body had the ability to re-heal, and I knew everything was going to be all right as far as the bone structure and ligaments and muscles, but mentally it was tough. I mean, being taken away from everything I loved for so long, it was tough, but it just feels great to be back now.
His play speed was like off the charts for that game. You know, he was moving at a different pace than most, and I think it was, you know, he was having fun, and get an opportunity to get out there and make his first tackle on defense in his career, that's a big deal.
I just wanted to regain my confidence. I've been away from the game for so long, and confidence is key when you're playing at one of the most elite levels there is. So building that confidence and gaining that trust with my teammates was really essential.
To build that trust, it doesn't hurt to play alongside a guy like Andrew Van Ginkel, who made play after play down the stretch last season.
I learned a lot from him, and being able to do that is key for me.
He plays with a lot of passion, and he enjoys the game. So, he's coming out, and, he hasn't played in about a year. So, he's all in. He's loving it, every moment of it, and he's not taking it for granted because, he knows what it's like to miss an entire season.
He's taking more of a leadership role on the team and helping me, Tyler Johnson, and Christian Bell out all the time, so it helps.
The 1-2 combo of those two is going to be good for us. We got a lot to go. There's a lot of learning to go, and having those two guys out there is going to be key, and having the guys that back them up, these stand-up backups and ready to take the next. If someone's chin strap breaks, they're ready to step in.
We pride ourselves on being the playmakers of the defense. Getting a big play whenever we need one as a defense. So, we just continue to do our job and continue to help and play team defense.
No matter what, after a lost year, Baun will be there, having fun the entire way.
It's kind of like teaching a kid anything. If they're into it, right, it's easier to learn, opposed to having to push constantly. And Zach's a kid that he's eager to get to the next step. And whatever that step is, be it learning how to pass rush or becoming a better teammate, he's excited about that step.
A big thing, Alec James last year, he is the locker next to me. He was actually, and then we talked a lot all year about consistency and just being consistent. And even after my game and before the game, he'll hit me up saying consistency is key. And I said same to him, but consistency, just being able to be the same guy was week in and week out.
If the early season is any indication, a consistent Zack Baun will make the Badgers' defense better. For the Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst, I'm Jay Williams.
We've all been there. Gridlock. But this is the 2018 Nissan Rogue.
It's got Pro Pilot Assist and can stop and start on its own to help keep your distance from that car ahead, and can help keep you centered in your lane.
Get a low $199 per month lease or get 0% financing for 60 months on Rogue.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
They are the ones who found a way to isolate a single prostate cancer cell hidden amongst a billion healthy blood cells. The ones pioneering advanced genomic testing in order to create personalized treatment protocols. They are the ones you want to talk to when the diagnosis is prostate cancer. They are the physicians and healthcare professionals at UW Health and the Carbone Cancer Center. UW Health. Remarkable.
The Learfield Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or at L Directors Cup on Twitter or Facebook. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
The Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst is presented by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers. And UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
Time now for this week's Great Dane. Great question of the week comes from Mike over in Milwaukee. He wants to know, Coach, the importance of getting some of your backups in the game, and the outcome is decided, but still valuable reps for a lot of your guys on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, they are so valuable. And whether it's your first snaps or even if it happens later in the year, just to get a chance to play and play in a game. And there's a different speed to the games. And so, it was good this week to be able to get some of our young offensive linemen, and even our defense had a chance to get some more snaps. And there's nothing like playing, and to be able to get those in a real game is so important.
Yeah, it was. Danny Vandenboom, first pass, touchdown. Taj Mustafa, first catch, touchdown.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good. I was happy for him. And Mason Stockey had a chance to go in, and Mason's a guy I've been impressed with, the way that he's kind of transitioned, went all through camp as a linebacker, and yet where we're at in the fullback spot. And you know what? Every one of those reps is huge, and some of those young offensive linemen got their first snap, so it was those are very valuable.
Yep, all in all, a good day for the Badgers as they get the win over New Mexico. Thanks for your question. The Great Dane with 4 locations in Madison, east side of town, downtown Fitchburg, as well as Hilldale. The Coach's Show returns to the Great Dane Hilldale this Thursday night at 6 o'clock, and up in Wausau, the Great Dane up and running as well. Badgers continue this season opening homestand next Saturday here at Camp Randall with 2:30 kickoff as the Badgers take on BYU. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
Did you know there's a Mahindra for everyone and every job? Test drive and save during Harvest Demo Days. Like a 6075 four-wheel drive, a 9125, a 2538 or 2638 HST, and a 1526 or 1626 HST. And test drive Mahindra's utility vehicles too, only from the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra. Hurry in for the best savings of the year at your Wisconsin Mahindra dealer.
Your testimony will save lives. This is your new name. This is your new house and a perfectly inconspicuous SUV. You must become invisible.
I'll take my chances.
The reimagined Audi Q5 is here.
Test drive the all-new Audi Q5, only at Zimbrick Audi.
A pulse, felt by one, sends a ripple, felt by some, a shiver, felt by many, until it amplifies, magnifies into a tremor that electrifies. Badgers everywhere, moving as one, tilting the world on its axis.